Hey everyone, thought I'd give a quick demonstration of how I set up my new Nilight LED light bar. I wanted to kind of hide it so it'd be a little bit less noticeable but still be able to put out a good amount of light. So I found in my Cherokee, since I don't have the sensors in the front for cruise control assist, there's a decent amount of space behind this honeycomb grill on the bottom that I can mount a light bar inside and it'll still project outward. So just to kind of show you what I did here, let me open up the hood. I wanted to fit this light bar here in between the radiator and this honeycomb grill. But in order to do that, I had to drill an extra hole into this mount here. Otherwise, if you have this bar mounted where the factory mount is, then it's going to stick back too far, and it would end up being up too high, and I wanted it to sit down lower. So from where the bottom of this mount is to where that new hole is 2 inches instead of the factory 3 inches on this Nilight mount. And then from there, I actually bought a stainless steel bolt and a stainless steel block washer and a rubber washer here. And I painted them black, and I just mounted the light bar straight through this honeycomb and secured it to there, and it is really solid. It doesn't feel like it's going to go anywhere. You do have to use a different length bolt through your new hole if you mount this here. But once you get it mounted, it's nice and hidden, and it'll project straight outwards. You can kind of still adjust the angle of it a little bit to get it to where you want it to shine exactly, and I'll show that here in a little bit. So I ran the black and red power wire from the Nilight harness up through the top here. Just kind of coiled some of the extra wire around. So I mounted the relay up here. There's a hole in the factory plastic up here that this can secure to with just a bolt that works well. I actually ended up drilling my own hole. Some of you might not want to do that, but I didn't want to really take off this fender nut and washer here. So there was some space here. I sanded it down for good contact. And mounted my ground wire here and the ground wire for the switch. Instead of using the factory switch, I'm going to show you here, I wired this up to my high beams, which works really well. So we have both ground wires going from this relay to my ground spot here, and then we have the power off of the battery running over to the relay, and then down by the foot pedal there's actually a grommet that a rubber grommet that you can pop out. And if you can see here, I have the switch wire running through through the firewall up into the engine compartment. So in order to get this thing wired up from my high beams, I'll splice in a picture here, but essentially you go from a white and green high beam headlight wire. You want to tap into that. And I use the black wire from the switch that came with the Nilight harness. and that runs through. So we go from the high beam wire, run through the firewall to my new switch. And just to make this nice and concealed here, I'll show another picture as well. But I mounted just an on-off two-pole switch. It's just an SPST switch here, so that I can control whether or not I want the light bar to turn on with the high beams. So when this switch is off, the light bar won't turn on with the high beams, but when the switch is on and I activate the high beams, then the light bar will turn on as well. Okay, so this is kind of my dummy switch, or no, it's not on switch. So that gets hidden away, no one can see it. So we go from the headlight green power up to this switch, from this switch back out through, over, back up to the relay. And you want to connect to the white wire on your relay, and that's going to switch your power onto your light bar. And that's pretty much it. Alright, kind of got interrupted there for a second, but just to show you that this light bar does actually turn on with the high beams, since we spliced into that high beam wire. Right now, just the low lights are on. And so if I come over here, I flip on the high beams, we get a lot of light, and this is daytime. Come back around. You notice, of course, with the Cherokee, when you turn on the high beams, the fog lights turn off. And I had to replace these fog lights with LED fog lights, and the normal headlights with LED headlights, and they work well, but with the fog lights off, the high beams just wasn't putting out enough light. So we got it toggling on and off with the high beams, and I'll show you with my switch here. If I toggle this switch off, now I can turn on my high beams. And it's back to factory. Alright. With the high beams still on, I can toggle my switch again and get the light bar. So I like to leave that light bar switch on, so now I can just flick my high beams on, off, just like that. Or I can flash it on and off. Alright, we'll get some video of this at night here. Alright, so here we got our nighttime video of the new light bar installed. Right now, this is just the low beams, and with the fog lights on, running down the road. We got the normal stock headlights flipping on and off. Of course, the fog lights turn off, so the sides aren't that bright. And we're going to try the new light bar. Alright. Flipping off. Flipping on. Alright. Yeah, that definitely makes a pretty big difference here going down the road. All the trees are lit up. We flip highs off. Normal. Eyes on with the light bar. That's pretty good. Off. On. Stock. Just the highs and the light bar. Alright, we'll pull into a parking lot over here so I can do some more tests. Just kind of point it out here to a field. So I got highs, normal, light bar, low, high. I tell you what, it's definitely making a huge difference driving around. Yeah, I would definitely recommend one of these if you guys got a Jeep Cherokee. You know, those stock headlights, you definitely want to replace at least the fog lights with LEDs, but then to be able to flip the highs on and turn that light bar on at the same time, huge difference. That's how a high beam should be. Alright, well, I get to enjoy this, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, later.